Hey there, guys and girls. I've not actually made a video for quite some time. I think the last video I made was in early November, but oh well. Now, people will probably be wondering, oh, and you've not uploaded anything for a little while. So, well, it's because I actually went to Leeds Comic Con, but I did go with a few relatives of mine, but we'll mainly talk about myself and what it was like there. But yeah. So I've not actually been to a cosplay convention in ages. Now most people will be like saying, oh, who did you cosplay as? Well, I actually cosplayed as Link, the same character that I did from one of my other visits to another convention that was in Newcastle. So most people will probably be asking, say, N, why are you not in the Link outfit like right now? Well, actually, I've already done a video on the Link cosplay showcase like a couple of years back, so I'll put it like somewhere on the top of the screen, so I'll just link you to that. Get the joke, Link, because of Link from Legend of Zelda. Well, you know, you get the point now. But anyway, and another thing is, I did actually upgrade the outfit a little bit. I actually got some new Kokiri boots because the old ones were not very good. They were not very accurate at all. They're so inaccurate. The old Kokiri boots were so inaccurate. I didn't even show it even 2 years back in one of my old videos. So yeah, but I'll show you the new ones today, right? I'll show you in a minute. Alright, here they are. They actually look like this. And just to show that I've actually got two of them and not one, I've actually got two of these. Now you probably can't see that well, I hope you can, but this is actually really good quality, by the way. It's even got a little zip. Hang on. It's even got a little zip here, so you can zip it right up. So I'll actually wrap around my foot and all the way up to my knee. So yeah, so I got some boots. Oh, also, if you look carefully, I'll just open it out a little bit, right? This way you can see the belt here as well, because on Ocarina of Time Link you can actually see the belt right here. It's supposed to yeah, there's supposed to be like a red belt on each of them. So there's one there and there's one here as well. Now you might be thinking, oh well, it looks really flat. That's because when you wear it round it looks a bit more like that. That's why. Well, for the second item I'm going to showcase is this. This shield was... I did show a photograph of it in one of my old videos, but if you look carefully, this shield is massive. Look how massive this thing is. I had to hold on to this for 2.5 hours in the Leeds convention building, and it's like, holy moly, that took ages. That was a very long time. And if you look carefully, it's so broken because it's more than 2 years old. The handles, if you look carefully, right, the handles are supposed to be there and there, so it's supposed to go. And because the handles were like broken off, I had to hold my shield like that, right? So let's hold it like this, and carrying it around, holding it strangely was like, you know. So yeah, and my arm was actually aching so much after 2.5 hours. So I thought, oh no, I had to carry it around for ages. So yeah, so there was that shield. I did have that shield, but it was like stored in a luggage case before. I did show a photograph of it like 2 years back in a really old video. So I decided to show it off this time, but the sad thing is that it's really broken. And the most surprising thing is that when I met other cosplayers, they were like saying, oh wow, that shield looks so cool, how much did that cost? £30. What? That is so cheap! That's what people are saying, like, oh, it looks so cool and stuff like that. I was thinking, thanks, but I was like thinking in my head, this thing is like aching my arm because I'm not holding it properly. And it's where, oh yeah, that's another thing. I was like walking around like these stores and such, and two people like walked up to me saying, oh, we've been looking all over for a Link cosplayer, and it's because one of the two people was a girl and she actually was cosplaying as Breath of the Wild Zelda. So I think she was with her brother. I think it was her brother anyway, or her cousin. Is where she and her cousin, we'll just say cousin because I don't know for sure if they're related or not, but we'll just say her cousin. And it's where she and her cousin said, "Oh, can we take some photographs with you?" And so I said, "Yeah, sure." So it's where I went and got that shield and this lovely master sword from before, which I think is actually better than the shield is, cause especially since it's not even broken. I just put the sword over my shoulder like that and just stood with the Zelda cosplayer, and then they just took some photographs, so that was actually pretty cool. The sad thing is that I forgot to ask them what their names were so that I could stay in contact with them afterwards. So I thought, that was like one of the worst mistakes ever. Like, imagine coming across some cool people dressed up as characters from the same game and you forgot to ask what their names were afterwards. So I thought, that was just made such a bad mistake, and the sad thing is that I might not ever meet them ever again, because even if I go to the next Leeds Comic Con, they might not be there. And if I go to like the London Comic Con, which there is one next year, they might not be there either. So yeah. So I thought, oh no, I lost track of them. They did take a photograph, so hopefully they'll find me somewhere on the social networks. I don't know. I hope they can actually find me, because they're some really nice people. And I did talk to them for about 2 or 3 minutes, so I thought, oh yeah, it's where there was this other guy. There were quite a few of them actually. There were a few guys that were dressed up as Akatsuki members, right, from Naruto. I couldn't quite tell who they all were because they all had hairstyles that didn't look like Akatsuki members. You know, like Itachi and the others. So it's where this guy like talking to me saying, "Oh, where did you get that cool shield and sword from?" I was like saying, "Oh, it's like cosplaystation.com," and we were like talking for about 2 or 3 minutes. At least 2 or 3 minutes anyway. And then I said, "Oh, the shield's actually cheaper than the sword is." I said, "What, are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Oh, well, at least you can actually go here, and you're here, yes, so like you're here and everything." I have to be careful not to break my screen or something. So yeah. And then it said at the end, "Oh, good luck trying to take down Ganondorf." So I thought, yeah, good luck trying to take down the Hidden Leaf Village. So yeah, you know, I'll be honest, this sword is definitely a lot lighter than the shield is, that's for sure. So I can hold on to it a heck of a lot more and my arm is not aching. By the way, after the convention, my left arm here was actually aching for 2 days. Well, because it's been more than 2 days, obviously. The aches and pains from my left arm is obviously gone by now because I'm not holding on to it anymore. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, the place was like super crowded, by the way. There was like hundreds of people in. It's where at the entrance we had to come across this guy who was dressed up as a wizard. It was so funny. It's where he had white hair. So it's like he stood out more than everyone else because he was dressed up as a wizard. And no, I was surprised there was no other wizard-based anime characters or gaming characters that were actually there. He was the only one. So that's probably why it was easy to recognize. Because, you know. Is where basically if you had the ticket on your phone you have to just show it to him, or you have to just pay up on front. And it's like, if you pay up on front it's like £13, but if you pay online beforehand it's like £11. But by the way, I only went on Sunday. The Leeds Comic Con was on Saturday, but I think it was like £14 or something. I have no idea why it's more expensive to go on Saturday than Sunday, because me and my relatives actually opted for Sunday, but there you go. I think the reason why the building was so crowded was because it was a more cheaper day. We were on the more cheaper tier, so I think that's why it was more crowded. Because there is something called VIP tickets, where you can go in before 12 PM, but you have to pay like £5 extra. I think the place would have been quieter if we actually did it that way, but yeah. Oh yeah, I did come across this one female cosplayer who had like all these photographs. Now I'm not gonna say anyone's names here because I might not have permission to, so we'll just call her just a female cosplayer, and I was like talking to her for ages. I talked to her for about 10 minutes, anyway, and it's where she actually told me, oh, I've actually done over 100 cosplays. So I was thinking, whoa, that's a lot of you know, that's a lot of outfits. It's like, I've only got one. Now people will probably be asking me, who would you be next? Well, I did want to be Soul Megaman EXE. Yes, I know, a bit of a long name, but I'll just put an image up there just to show what kind of outfit this character is supposed to have. But yeah, but I think that outfit would probably cost about £200. That's the only thing, because this sword here costed about £30, and the shield that I just showcased, that was about £20 as well. For some reason the shield was cheaper than the sword is. Now the wig and the Link wig, not this wig but the other wig that's in the other video, that wig, even though it's not even blonde, it looks more like brownish orangey. I don't know why. I need to update that wig anyway. It definitely does not look like Ocarina of Time Link's hair very much, so I'm definitely gonna have to get a new wig on that one at some point. But yeah, it's where that cost about £10, and it's where the green tunic and the white clothing that goes underneath, the underalls, I think that came up to about £50. And it's where the gauntlets, which goes here, and the belts and the sword belt that goes here, yeah, that all came up to about 120. And yes, I mentioned that to the Akatsuki guy, and it's where he was like, whoa. It's like, anyway, back to the female cosplayers, where she actually told me that one of the gun replicas that she bought, it was like £600 or something. I was thinking, I'm not spending that much on a pretend gun, even if it looks proper cool and everything. It's like, with £600 you could just buy 2 or 3 whole outfits with that. It's like, I don't understand. I did ask her, are you an accountant or something? And she was like saying no. So I'm guessing that the reason why people are able to spend so much on cosplay equipment and such is probably because, I think the reason why they're able to spend so much money on cosplay equipment is probably because they're not playing video games. They're probably not spending a lot of money on other items. They probably don't buy cars like I do, because I drive a car and my current car costs like £194 a month because I'm doing it on finance. So that's why I don't spend that much money on cosplay equipment. Because whenever there's something essential, obviously you're gonna be spending a lot of money on essential items, and if there's non-essential items like this, because let's be honest, it's not essential, it's where obviously I'm not gonna be willing to spend that much on something that I'm gonna be swinging around like a few times. I'm like, whoa. It's really, I don't want to like smack it into something. That's the problem. So to be honest, right, people have been asking me, why don't you just upgrade this Master Sword, because it looks kind of fake. As in, like, well, not fake, but it's like, it just looks really toyish, basically. It looks like it doesn't look it doesn't go well with the rest of the outfit, because like the gauntlets is really high quality, the wig is not good quality, let's be honest, it's not. And it's where the Link wig is not good quality. This is actually better quality, I think, and I actually spent more on this one. I actually bought this from a freelance wig maker, but that's a whole nother story, but we're not really going to be talking about that very much. It's where they probably just work like 40 hours a week. I don't get it. I don't get how they're not rich yet they can actually afford all this equipment and such, which costs like £600. Now, fortunately for some of these cosplayers, like the female cosplayer who with the 100 outfits, I've actually kept in contact with some of these people, so at least I've actually got some of the contact details. I wish I did get the contact details from the BOTW Zelda cosplayer and her cousin. I think they were with her cousin. I wish I got their details, because then we could have actually talked more and actually talked more about games and such, because I like keeping in contact with people afterwards, because it's like, You know, so it just makes you feel like a proper friend rather than, okay, just one photo, okay, I never want to see you again. It's like, no, I don't like being like that. It's just like, that just sounds like you're just using someone. But there you go. When we went around the stalls, there were quite a few items that we did want. There was this, one of my relatives actually wanted to get this Catchware toy, but it was like £45. And it's like, it was really soft, by the way. And it's like, you know, it's where you can actually buy pin badges as well. In fact, right, I've got it right up here somewhere. One of my relatives actually bought this. So I thought, oh, that's so cool. I should actually put that on one of my bags. Yeah. But anyway, I think that's nearly everything. I did come across a lot of other cosplayers. I actually saw one Princess Peach cosplayer, one Mario cosplayer, but they were never ever in the same room for some reason. I didn't see any Luigi cosplayers, as far as I know. I guess I wasn't there for that long because I was only there for 2.5 hours. Who else was there? I did see some Dragon Maid cosplayers as well, but I never got the chance to actually talk to them because the place was so busy that we were all trying to get squeezed past each other. It was like, you know, a traffic jam. So it's like sometimes you just can't get, sometimes you just don't get the chance to be able to talk to every single person that's there, even if they're cosplaying as a character that you actually like. I was surprised there were no Cloud's Drive cosplayers because people told me that he's one of the most popular. I was surprised that there were no Cloud's Drive cosplayers or any other Final Fantasy characters. I don't know why. It's just like, I was expecting at least one Sora cosplayer and there was none. I was thinking, he just got announced for Smash Brothers 4. No, not Smash Brothers 4, Smash Brothers 5. And yet there's like no Sora cosplayers in Leeds, like at all. That is just really sad. It was like, so many people, I mean, I'm happy that Sora got to be in Smash 5, but I'm like thinking, why is he not in Smash 4? That's the thing, you know, the one on the 3DS, which I've actually got. I've actually got the 3DS version anyway. But it's where, you know, it's just like, no Sora cosplayers, no Cloud's Drive cosplayers, no one? Not even, it's like, where are they? I don't get it. There were actually quite a few Naruto cosplayers, but they were mainly like Akatsuki members. So I was like, oh wow. I wonder if they'll actually really get to take over a whole village. I don't think they will really. But by the way, just because people have said this, which is a bit obvious about cosplaying, is just because you are cosplaying as a character doesn't mean you are that character. So just because I cosplay as Link doesn't mean I am Link. No, I'm still SilverHunterN. But there you go. And another rule of thumb which I already knew is, oh, just because it happens in a game or an anime doesn't mean you can do it for real. So in other words, if I came across a Ganondorf cosplayer, I would not suddenly attack him with this. I wouldn't act like that because I'm basically just attacking a stranger. I'd never do that. It's just like, by the end of the day, we're all like strangers trying to make friends with each other. So, you know. The thing with Leeds Comic Con or any other Comic Con I've ever been to is where, the thing is that there's so many people there that you just don't get the chance to be able to interact with everyone, because by the time you talk to one person, the other person you want to talk to is already gone somewhere else. So that's why you have to be a bit careful who you talk to, because it's like, they're all really nice people. I was actually surprised everyone was behaving so well at Leeds Comic Con. I was expecting at least one douchebag, but there's like none. It was like, oh wow. And so I thought, oh, phew. That's the one thing I was like thinking, phew. Because I didn't want to come across a jerk, but there were no jerks. So I was like thinking, wow, that's the best thing about that Comic Con. So I thought, wow. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't think there's really anything else to say. Now, there was one last thing I did want to say. I definitely need to update the wig. I'm actually thinking about getting a red tunic with a mirror shield, because you can actually buy a mirror shield online. The one from the Spirit Temple, of course, is where and it's where it costs like £130, so I don't know if I want to get that because that's way more expensive than the Hylian shield that's like over there. And it's all broken off. The thing I am gonna cry about is if I buy that mirror shield and then it breaks, because that one's gonna cost way more. I don't think so. When I saw like the back of it, it's where when I saw the back of it online, it's actually wooden. It's actually got two proper handles, so I don't think it'll break that easily. But there you go. I think that actually wraps it up. So I don't know which Comic Con I'm going to next. It's going to be one next year, but there you go. But yeah, I'm just hoping that I get to stay a lot longer than 2.5 years, and I hope I get to meet those other people that I forgot to ask for their contact details, because you know, it would have been great to have more friends to actually talk to in the spare time. Online anyway. But yeah, if you want to see my Link cosplay review, I did make a really old video about that. I didn't mention it at the beginning of the video. I'll put a link at the end of the video anyway. You'll see a thumbnail of it, so you can check that out. So yeah, I think that wraps it up. Ooh. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to actually show your support, you may tick like, share, or subscribe to my channel. You can even do all three of them if you want to. So yeah, and with that, I'll end off the video. So thanks you for watching.